So hey guys, and welcome back to another Access 72 video. In today's video I'm back with another interview and I'm here with Shawon Choudhury. Shawon, how are we?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you very much for coming on the channel.
No, my pleasure.
Great stuff. And so am I right in saying you're a 21-year-old flyweight who's 8-2?
Yeah, 8-2.
Yep, great. Okay, and so if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, I'm going to start off with a question which you always like to start off with, and that is, why did you start MMA?
It's a funny one actually. Like I didn't even know about the sport of MMA until literally the day I started. Really, because I was literally just out with a couple of friends, and then there was like a little seminar going on at the community center. We were all just bored. One of my friends go, "Oh, let's just go out and check it out." Literally went and checked it out, and just fell in love with the sport, honestly. And ever since I've been training pretty much every day and pretty much dedicated my past 5 years to it, really.
That's great. That's good to hear. And so, I mean, I know you're an amateur at the moment, but do you what was your memory of your first amateur fight?
Oh, to be fair, it's mad. No one believed me. Like, I remember my first amateur fight, I'm there looking all aggressive, like grunting, screaming. But honestly, in my head, I'm like, I don't want to be here. Can I please not fight? Like, it's like in my head, I'm just wanting to tell people like I don't want to fight, but I'm like, I've got to just do it now. I'm kind of locked in. Like even as I'm in the cage, I'm looking across to my opponent. In my head, I'm thinking, shit, why am I here? Why am I here? What am I doing? And then 10 seconds in, I get head kicked 3 times and dropped. But I mean, I came back and won the fight, but that's how my first fight went.
Yes, definitely. Okay, and so, well, since then, of course, you've gotten 8 victories, and so you're doing very well so far. And so,
Yeah,
which one out of them 8 victories would you say you've performed your best in?
definitely my last one.
Okay.
Purely because my before my last one, I lost, and that loss just fueled me because it made me do a mentality change. Like my whole mentality just flipped. It's like a switch got turned on, and I I feel like in my last fight I finally performed to the level I am. Because even when I've won, I've always felt like I didn't perform to how good I actually am, like how good I've shown I am in training. And then in my last fight, I finally showed it. Like I went against the number one ranked guy in Ireland, and I made him look like he's only trained about like a year. Like I made it look like we were in completely different levels. And props to him, he's an amazing fighter. But from me finally being able to show what level I am, I finally showed how good I really was.
That's great stuff. And so, well, that fight was you kind of bouncing back from defeat. And so, how tough has it been for you to bounce back from defeat?
Honestly, I've had two losses, but those two losses have actually been the best, like the biggest blessings in my career so far.
Yeah.
Like from when I won my first 4 fights in a row, then I lost. After that loss, I came back and became a double champ. And it's purely because after that loss, I was really able to learn and kind of really focus on those holes that I wasn't fixing when I just kept winning. Because it's kind of thing like don't fix what isn't broke.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I lost, I'm like, oh, I've got those holes. I was able to focus on those, improve myself so much more. And then I went on another winning streak. And then when I lost again, it made me kind of realize like, okay, so that's what I was doing wrong. Although I was winning, I wasn't realizing it because I was winning.
Yeah.
But as soon as I've lost, someone's caught me out on my mistake. I'm like, okay, now I need to fix that. I just like once I get my mindset on something, it's just there's nothing going to stop me from doing it. So that's why every time I've lost, there's been exponential improvement in my game. Like even when I win, there's improvements constantly. But when I lose, I can really zone in on what caused me to lose because I really look back and critically analyze everything.
Definitely, that's a great mindset. And so, well, I mean, with kind of MMA as a whole, your record isn't always as important. I mean, if you look at somebody even like a Charles Oliveira, I mean, he's had many of losses, but he still was a very high level champion. And so, is that why? Yeah, you weren't too bothered about that.
Sorry?
Was that why you weren't really too fussed about like getting them defeats?
Yeah, because I honestly don't care about losing. Because I really don't care about the outcome. And that's purely because of my religion. In my religion as Muslim, I believe everything's planned, everything's predestined. So I'm like, I don't worry about the outcome because that's already been written for me. I'm either going to win this or I'm going to lose this. That was written like 50,000 years ago.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me at all. So, but my thing is, I just don't want to I don't want the reason me losing to be because I didn't work hard, because I didn't put the work in. So in my head, I'm like, win or lose, I don't care. As long as I know I did everything I could to be able to win. If even at that point I'm still not good enough to win, the other guy was better than me, I'll take that, I'll learn, try and get better. And hopefully, eventually I will surpass that.
Yes, definitely. And so, from your last fight, am I right in saying you become a UKFC champion?
No, so I retained my title, so I was already a UKFC champion.
Okay.
And this Jamie Abbott, he won the Grand Prix. So the Grand Prix was 2 fights in one night. It was kind of like to fighting for that number one contender spot, so someone could fight me, because there was a few guys who were kind of vying for that spot. And obviously Jamie came out on top, and I showed why I'm the champion.
Yes, definitely. And so, how big of a kind of achievement is being that champion?
Oh, 100%. It's surreal, to be honest. Even to this point, like even when I won my Almighty title, like with my first title, both achievements are just surreal. Like it just doesn't. It's like I've gone from being like that small kid in Sunderland, that little runt that no one really believed in, to now I'm one of the best in the UK, and just constantly getting better.
Yeah. Am I right in saying you're ranked very highly in the UK flyweights?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'd say I'm top 2, genuinely.
That's great. That's great confidence. And so, what would you kind of say is your motivation at the moment?
Just constantly wanting to get better, to be honest. Like, I just wanted to have fun. Like, I realised, like, as soon as I took the pressure off myself from making it always about winning, I just realised how everything's planned. That's out of my control. All I can just do is work hard and have fun. Honestly, just taking that stress off has just motivated me even more, because obviously I do it because I enjoy it. That's my main thing behind it. If I didn't enjoy it, I would have stopped a long time ago. So my whole thing, my motivation comes from just wanting to be the best and just having as much fun as I can. Even in the cage, like you see, I'm smiling, I'm laughing the whole time. Even in my last fight, I started dancing mid-fight. It's like, I just want to have fun.
Definitely. And so would you say you're, kind of an entertainer then?
Not even as much of an entertainer. It's just more, that's just me, that's just my character. Like, my character comes out on full display, so I am that kind of, I like to be the fun, happy guy around it. So even in the cage, although I'm beating the crap out of someone else, I'm still being that funny, happy guy. I mean, it's a stress, but you see it come out.
Yeah, definitely. And so, do you have a possible date of when you'll be back fighting again, if you can say anything about that?
I was looking at getting matched for March 4th, but then I ended up, they couldn't really find an opponent, and then I'd end up getting injured. So hopefully I'm looking to come back after Ramadan. So, I mean, Ramadan's from like until about the end of April, so maybe sometime after that.
Okay. And so, for anybody who might be wanting to come and watch this upcoming fight of yours, whenever it may be, and might not watch you fight before, what would you say makes you interesting as a fighter?
I mean, if you watch any of my previous fights, you'll know really, I barely ever get hit, but I'm constantly hitting, I'm constantly landing those clinical shots on others. I'm a fun fighter to watch. Like, every fight I've been in, the crowd is constantly off their feet. I mean, as an amateur, I main evented a pro card where just unprecedented. When will you ever see an amateur flyweight main card on top of pro fighters? And that was purely because me and my opponent Joe Fields, there was so much hype around us because our fights were that good, because we were that high level as amateurs. It became the most anticipated amateur fight in UK history.
Wow, that's great to hear. That's great. And so, well, I mean, that kind of sets up this next question, which I like to ask, and that is, how far do you believe you can go?
I believe I can be the best, 100%. But I mean, it's like that saying, shoot for the stars, land on the moon. You still land on the moon, do you know what I mean? You still make it somewhere. So I genuinely believe I can be the best. But I also have that mentality of, if I don't, I'm happy as long as I enjoy it and as long as I give it my all. I really don't care.
Definitely, that's great. And so, well, I mean, if of course you probably know, I don't know how much of a big MMA fan you actually are in the sides of like watching it and stuff like that.
I'm not that type of fan where I'll stay up to 5 a.m. to watch it, but I'll watch it the day after.
Okay, okay. And so, well, I mean, this weekend it's probably one of the biggest fights in MMA for a long
Yeah,
time. And
I think I'm gonna.
yes, and so what's your kind of thoughts on this big Volkanovski-Makachev fight?
It's definitely Makhachev's hardest challenge yet. Volkanovski is a fast, powerful counter striker who is very hard to take down. He's got them heavy hips. He's got a stocky body. But Makhachev is an elite wrestler, and people sleep on Makhachev's striking purely because of how good his wrestling really is. That's one thing that people always do. Like it was same with Khabib. People slept on people slept on his striking because his wrestling was so good. You forget about their elite in every aspect. But honestly, I think Makhachev's size, wrestling, pressure will get it done. I think eventually, Volkanovski's going to have a good first round, and then Makhachev's going to start to take over. I think Makhachev's going to get him down a few times. Volkanovski's going to get up the first few times, and eventually it's just the pressure's going to be too much.
Yes, definitely. I'm very much looking forward to that. And I'll leave you with this final question, which I always like to ask, and that is, you've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Yeah. I just want to shout out. I mean, my main sponsors, UK Plug, who have been in charge of all my marketing, they're taking care of kind of getting me those sponsors I need. Because I mean, MMA is a self-funded sport, so it's like it is very hard, especially because I'm to be able to kind of support myself as well as train. I'm having to work, do my masters, everything all at the same time, as well as training twice a day. So UK Plug, by taking that marketing role for me, have took a lot of stress off my shoulders, helping me bring funding in, helping me in every aspect really, wherever I need it. Spice Empire, my first and main sponsor, they've been with me from the start. Honestly, without them as well, I don't think I would be where I am. Similar to UK Plug. And EA Therapy, my local sports massage, he's during my fight camps. Honestly, recovery is one of the major things I would tell everyone to focus on, and EA Therapy is the reason I'm able to get through everything kind of injury free. I mean, the one time I stopped seeing him, I ended up getting injured. And on top of that, my teammates at Ace MMA, South Shield, Shaj Hack, my head coach, Cage Warriors world champion, as you know. My teammates like Sammy Hawk, Aaron Givens, they've been with me from the start. Just everyone down the gym.
That's great stuff. Okay, and so thank you very much. Maybe a little bit further along down the line we can come back and do a return interview.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love that.
Great, okay. And so if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do, like the video, and thanks for watching.